Rugby is all about feeling. The feeling when you crouch, when you bind, when you set. The feeling when you go into that first defender. The feeling when you make that first tackle. The feeling when you take that first hit. We are that feeling. We are contact. We are Rhino.
And a good evening to you, rugby fans. Welcome to Founders Field in the city of Bridges, the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. National Collegiate Rugby bringing you the second of a doubleheader of Friday Night Rugby. It is going to be the University of Pittsburgh Pitt and State in this great matchup. John Broker, I am joined by none other than Pat Clifton. Pat, another great game on our hands.
Absolutely. We've got the Allegheny Rugby Conference. This time it's Division I women as 9th-ranked Kent State. The Golden Flashes 2-0 after 22-19 win over Cincinnati and a whopping 86-19 win over Colgate. They're going up against Pitt State, the hosts here, who are 0-1 after a lopsided loss to Cornell. But when they played last year, it was a close game, so I'm expecting a really tight conference matchup tonight.
Going to be a great one. Let's look at some lineups here for these teams. Pat, take it away with Kent State.
Kent State led up front by Delaney Mavro-Mahalis, a bruising forward, a tight head prop. And then in the backs, they've got a trio of all-conference performers with scrum half Ryan Reinhardt. She leads and does everything back there. And then they have the captain, Sophia Schweitzer, who's also an all-conference performer, and Teresa Lupinacci at outside center, and also a fantastic player and a really dangerous player in the outside backs.
Next, we'll take a look at Pitt's lineup. Pat, let's talk about these Pitt Panthers.
Up front, we've got Nicole Bufano at tight head prop. She really holds this scrum up, does everything up there for them, a product of Belmont High School Rugby. And then they've got Morgan Graybill at number 8. She is a thundering runner off the back and a really steadying and calm performer in the line out. That leads them up front. And moving into the back line, Grace McCullough, probably the best player for the Panthers. They really lean on her a lot, along with 10, Lindsay Scavolini. And then at 15, they've got Ebony Smith. She is a rugby league player out of Australia. Look for her in counterattack.
It's going to be interesting to take a look at the finishers reserves for both of these teams. Going to pick up the energy later on in the game for them as Kent State and Pitt getting ready to match up here on Friday Night Rugby. Referee is going to be Mark Seaton for this one. You see him getting us underway with Pitt running from right to left on your screen. Eric Kress and Sebastian Murati are the assistant referees for this one. Ball gets kicked to Kent State, running from left to right in the light blue and yellow. The Golden Flashes of Kent State taking on the Panthers of Pitt. They get the first move here. Ball into the ruck. Kent State on the move. Ryan Reinhardt, the number 9, gets the ball. Nice quick move. Get the ball in the hands of Lupinacci quickly. Back there to Aya Smith. Out wide they go. Kent State, good early run here, putting some pressure on the Pitt defense immediately. They are. Schweitzer again. Gets the ball up, waiting pot of forwards. Keep it a little bit tight there. Lorenzen. Ball out there into Schweitzer's hands. Midfield they go. Little pop. Well, it's tight. Now trying to go a little wider. Good run across halfway. Ball popped up. Not keep it out. Good ball continuity early on for the Golden Flashes here. The hands now of Hummel. Bills forward. Referee Seaton right there to watch it. Picked up by Ava Stanton. Get that ball back. We need somebody to come in and sort this out. Half eventually does. McCullough. McCullough puts a little pop up there to Kellen Weedman, Jr. Back to McCullough. McCullough, number 9. Junior out of Yardley, PA. Pitt gets this one wide. Allie Colgan taking the contact on the wing. Minute and a half, all action so far here at Founders Field. Exciting game to come. Gagliardi takes a hold of that one. Emily Gagliardi, the number 7 jersey for Pitt. Referee Keaton. Nick Kirby's on side, waiting pot of forwards. Good athleticism from the number 8 there. Oregon Graybill gets the ball to the ground. Pat was talking about her just a second ago. The game keeps going like this. Pat's not going to get to say anything as the ball goes wide. Lana Greco's going around looking at the 22. Greco gets taken to the ground eventually. And they clean this one up. Counter ruck coming in. Weedman having to hold that one down until McCullough gets there. Off to Stefano. Pat players to watch. McCullough. Play now for 2 full minutes beginning of this game. We have a penalty advantage for Pitt. As McCullough gets the hold of this one. McCullough finds a runner, bit of a free play. There's some room out wide if they can get the ball there. Not quite as Stanton gets it. And this is our first break and play for a high tackle, Pat. What a first couple of minutes.
Absolutely. A frenetic start to this contest. Just like the first one, we've got a heavy favorite here. Number 9 ranked Kent State going up against unranked Pitt, but it's the Panthers who have everything early, and they are on the prowl looking to get deep inside the 22 of Kent State.
Let's take that one, move it over to Bufano. Across they come. Cavallini, get that one out. Around there into stands, looking for the corner. Allie Colgan is near the touchline. Just sitting out there. McCullough gets hold of it eventually. Gets up to Kellen Weedman. Weedman gets just outside the 22. Pitt, run of play so far. Was that a knock on? A referee says indeed it was. There's an early advantage that had been used up. There'll be a scrum here for Kent State just outside of their 22.
A tough call there against Grace McCullough. I thought she rolled that one back a bit, but nonetheless, a first break here for Kent State. The Golden Flashes get to catch their breath and maybe play a little bit of offense. It's been all Pitt here early on, and they've got the field advantage for sure. They're going to try to pin the Golden Flashes deep.
State scrum half Ryan Reinhardt, a senior from Kent, Ohio. Justice sociology major. Gets this one in. Gets this going. Ball at Humble's feet. Get out into the back line inside the 22. A little switch back in. Spin move coming from Lupinacci. Reinhardt does it again. A little more room out this side for the Golden Flashes, but that one gets spilled. Did it go backwards? A referee is happy.
There we go.
22 they go. Reinhardt has to bring it in herself. Got to come back and stepping in. Schweitzer into the distributor role. Hold the Brinker. They go, but right into the hands of waiting fullback there. And Ebony Smith, the Australian Ebony Smith, just outside the 22, able to recycle this one. Players coming in. McCullough again. Runners, they have an advantage here for player coming in on the off angle. But Pitt has another free play. They keep the ball with some of their forwards. Player coming in on angle. We'll get back to that penalty. Pitt went quick last time. We'll see what they decide to do here as Grace McCullough has ball in hand.
We've got a good angle at the line out, but I think they're going to be content to run it. They've got some charging forwards here.
Want to play this one. They get that one up to Snyder. Snyder gets that ball away, but it doesn't go to hand. It doesn't go forward, according to me, but not the referee, however. So we're back to the scrum here for the Golden Flashes. Inside their 22, they've been mired for the first 5 minutes.
Looks like it might be Pitt's put in. I think Grace McCullough's got the ball. Nope, she's just handing it to her opposite, being very polite.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
ball out there from Reinhardt. Their own zone, but ball was knocked on. It's from this time for Pitt. Just about 7-8 meters out from the Kent State Golden Flashes try line.
Here we go.
Boy, this is a coach's dream right here. Pitt should be salivating. They've got a split scrum opportunity. That means Kent State doesn't know if they're going to go left. They don't know if they're going to go right. You can usually generate an overload, a man advantage on this opportunity right here if they can just get this ball back to their 8-man, Morgan Graybill.
Ball in, ripped away there. Taken away by the Kent State hooker and Brinker. So ball in hand this time for Kent State. Weister Reinhardt has to take that one in. Advantage.
Offside, number 9.
Kent Pitt. Offside.
You only have 5 seconds. When I say use it, you got
Still a few meters out from their own line as the Golden Flashes.
Number 9.
Well done by Casey Brinker, the junior hooker from Cleveland, Ohio for Kent State. Just sniping that ball against the head. A huge turnover for the Golden Flashes. They can clear their lines a little bit, get outside their 22, and make life a little bit harder on the Pitt Panthers.
You line out here for Kent State.
4.
You got to execute here. There's a lot of room for error if you're Kent State. You could potentially not throw the ball right. You could knock on the catch. You could have a great contest here from Pitt. So this is a high-pressure situation. It's a bit like punting with your punter's heels on the back of his end zone.
I know you find this interesting. They got 2 lifters facing away from the tunnel as Kent State goes up. Gets the ball down there to Reinhardt. Across the field they go. A little wraparound move. Get the ball back in the hands of Lupinacci. Lupinacci gets the ball away into the hands of the number 15 there, Micaiah Smith. Micaiah Smith gets the halfway. Reinhardt has to pick it up and go. Another good tackle there. Pick and goes coming from this Kent State team. They start to work their way downfield, but eventually take it into touch. It'll be a Pitt ball as Elise Gamball couldn't quite get in and clean that one up.
Nice purchase on the Lupinacci loop there off of the line out. So 13 does a little give and go.
Wait for me. Wait for me.
Way to reverse field. It's Penn State, or it's Pitt now who has to work their way out of their own end.
Give a step. Step in white. There we go.
Ball up there from Pitt. Pitt, little flat ball for the fly half. Scabaloni. Now they move it out a little wider. Big tackle coming in. Able to get that one to ground. Players trying to roll around, but going the other way is McCullough this time. McCullough gets it up to hand to Emily Bissell. Bissell, a junior nursing major. Back again, waiting pot of 4. Little tip pass comes up from Weedman. Good work there. Just shift that point of contact onto Buffano, the sophomore from Belmont, Mass. Out they come, looking to get it wide. Both teams looking to the edge here. Very interesting tactic, both of them. Big players inside just making some room for some speed out on the width. Referee says that's fine, let's keep playing. Players seem to want to stop there. That may be a knock-on from Gagliardi.
You hear the whistle, guys. Oh, ladies, right? We have a knock-on here. Scrimmage.
Referee Seaton spots a knock-on. It's to be a scrum for Kent State as we are scoreless here. Just under 10 minutes gone, Pat.
Here we go.
Get my eyes on Ryan Reinhardt, the senior scrum half for Kent State. She is a crafty player. She might be looking for a little snipe off the back of the scrum if she's given any room. New laws, of course, don't allow the defensive scrum to follow you all the way around to just behind the 8-man like they used to.
Ball in for Kent State. Kent State, ball to back. Reinhardt has the ball deflected down. Little spill there. Referee spots it. Couple errors creeping in here. The 10-minute mark after a very fast first 10. Scrum this time to Pitt.
You can't go in that pocket.
Spoke too soon that time. It was Grace McCullough putting all the pressure on Reinhardt at the back of the scrum.
You can't go in that pocket ever. Okay. Here we go.
McCullough played for Doylestown Rugby.
Fine.
Feeding the ball in here, Doylestown. Great long-time high school program in Pennsylvania. Pitt getting some pressure from Kent State, able to get away as McCullough. Crossfield they come. Center's drawing in some runners there, looking to go wide now. There's a player out to the width. They can get it there. Hang on to that one, just shift it back in into Ebony Smith's hands. Ebony Smith takes it into contact. Kent State trying to turn that one over. Referee spots some illegal hands in there. A penalty against Kent State. Pitt ball.
The rugby league player struggling with the tackle. It's a little bit different in the Union. When you get tackled on the ground, with the order of operations, got the penalty anyways.
And Pitt went quick, winds up in the hands of Kent State. Good by at least Gamble there, the senior from Akron, Ohio. The Lake Center Christian School with that turnover. Now they continue to work their way forward. Duke Kent State over the halfway line there. Well, that was Gamble, excuse me. So Frenchco and Gamble for a little bit there. Frenchco made the turnover, Gamble on the run. Well, coming out the back, Kent State on the move, get the ball to Schweitzer. Schweitzer moves it across, runners coming from depth. They bring in Angelina Ferry. Nearly every player on each of these teams has had a carry so far in this game. Pretty wide-ranging game from both of these teams as Haley Hummel takes that one in, the sophomore from Mentor, Ohio. Mentor girls rugby player in high school, now playing for the Golden Flashes of Kent State. Ball at the back, quick ball for Reinhardt. Reinhardt spins away from one, says hello to yet another defender on this Pitt team. Off the back they come again, Gamble again. Ball into touch by Pitt, and these teams playing to a stalemate at the moment. It's going to be a Pitt lineout.
It's not the first time we've seen Kent carry the ball into touch. Got to take more care of it. They're getting a lot of purchase on these pick and goes, though. The tighter Kent plays to the ruck and the faster they play to the ruck, the more success they're having. Pitt's got to condense their numbers and get lower sooner.
Ball up, well taken by Graybill. A little flat there, but they've had the runners out wide. They're going to get stopped in the midfield here. They're trying to dig their way over for Kent State. Pitt able to recycle. Graybill finds some room this time. Graybill bashes through a couple. Ball recycled for McCullough. McCullough, see if they have the width this time. Through the hands they go. Looking to that left-hand side. Going to get tackled. That's Lana Grieco, the senior from Palmyra, Pennsylvania. Ripped away there. Great work by Schweitzer. Schweitzer finds her way through a couple. Eventually tackled by Olivia Snyder, the junior from King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. You see the beautiful lights coming down on Founders Field here. Ball into the hands of Elise Gamble. Kent State with a little pick and go through Reinhardt.
Okay, that's fine. Backwards. Straight.
Reinhardt again. Into the midfield they go. That little one-handed pass up from Lupinacci again. Numbers down to the left-hand side if they can get it there quickly. Lupinacci with another little looping play. Has to turn around, just gets the ball back there to Schweitzer. Schweitzer gets the 22.
Get out, get out, get out.
Well, out there to Frenchco, Lola Frenchco, sophomore from Warren, Ohio.
Good. Stay.
Reinhardt feeds a waiting forward there, and Jesse Starkey, the junior.
Good.
Political science and history major. Schweitzer again, runners out wide. Lupinacci looking for some room, shows the ball once, pops it up into the hands of Laura Perlman. Laura Perlman gets across the 22, pops it back inside to Sadie Simpson, the wing. All hands on deck rugby going on at the moment as Frenchco takes the ball just to the 22.
Stay. Use it.
Ball hits the deck this time. Referee spots it. A good passage of play. Going to come back here for a scrum for Pitt. Pat, the ball in play time in these first 15 minutes has been pretty impressive from these teams.
Yeah, these girls have to be absolutely exhausted. I'm exhausted watching them. They're getting all over the park. I've seen Laurel Perlman, and since we've had a stoppage in play, do about everything you can do in a rugby game: offensively, defensively, chase people down, make carries. So these people are getting around, and their GPS units that they've got them on are going crazy tonight.
Set.
Scrum here for Pitt just outside their own 22.
Use it.
McCullough gets the ball out. Ball's gone back. Referee's happy with it, but they're stuck a little behind. Scavoloni has to take it to the ground.
Keep going.
Stanton has to take it to the ground, working a little bit backwards. Pitt can have to figure out what to do here.
Offside.
They can go from inside their own zone from Graybill. Gets ripped out of the hands, but an offsides anyway. So they come back for a penalty. Pitt an opportunity middle of the field
Onside.
to go for some territory or just have a run.
Left foot.
And I think where it is in the middle of the field, it's kind of in the middle of a desert island. Tough to get to the touchline and gain any territory. It's like you're going to see him look at running this one.
And they do, a ball in hand right at the 22. Good battle going on there. Fano
There we go. Sit back. Take a
takes
step.
that one to ground.
Okay.
This time a kick doesn't get too far. Just that's about the 40-meter line. Gets a good roll. Knocked on by Kent State. So we're going to come back. A little mistake. Going to work in the favor of Pitt right there. Unlucky for Angelina Ferry. Just slipped out of her hands.
You two.
That's a well-worked play there from Pitt. They opt not to kick the touch because it's a difficult one to touch. And if they don't get it out on the full, chances are the Golden Flashers are coming back very fast, very quickly with space. They decide to kick and put some of those skills under pressure, and the Flashes buckled. And now Pitt has a pretty decent midfield opportunity here.
McCullough with a little pause in there, a little non-traditional scrum half scrum entrance. The ball comes back to Scavoloni. They go to the boot, get across the 50-meter line. These kicks have worked out for him before. Pressure coming on. Ball kicked up by Pitt. Now it's inside the 22. Racing back onto Sadie Simpson. Sadie Simpson able to get away from a couple into a sea of white Pitt jerseys.
Get back 5. Back.
A little tight as a defense here at Pitt. If there's room out wide for Kent State, they can make the most of it. Little switch back in. Perlman again handling that ball. It's back to Gamble.
Watch the foot. Play.
Ball came off the foot. Referee says it's fine. Going to stay with the Golden Flashes. Golden Flashes. Off the left-hand side.
Down chair.
Pitt with the run this time. Ebony Smith pushes that one to the side. Did that go forward? We'll see what the referee says as we come back.
Captain. Kick. Scrum.
Referee asking Pitt if they would like the kick or the scrum based on where the penalties happen here.
Offside. 12.
Scrum just outside the 22 for the Pitt Panthers. Opportunity for them. 19 minutes into this first half. National Collegiate Rugby's Friday Night Rugby.
Here we go.
Pitt struggling a little bit in these scrums. As you mentioned, McCullough has a bit of an unconventional put in. And Kent State has stolen one against the head already. But this is a really good platform again.
Here we go. Wait for me.
90% of tries. This might be an old stat at some point, but Super Rugby not that long ago, in the last decade, let's say, 90% of tries were either coming off of first or second phase from a scrum or line out, or directly off of a turnover. So scrums are a great scoring opportunity if you can win it, which it looks like it cannot.
To the left-hand side they go. Huge run coming from Reinhardt. Reinhardt is across halfway. She's got two defenders bearing down on her. Eventually gets tackled. Good work to just drop the ball and get up and run again. She's gained a lot of ground off a tight head scrum there. They took that one away. Good work from Lola Frenchko. Frenchko hands it off to one of her Golden Flashes teammates.
Good.
And off they come. Ball in the hands of Sophia Schweitzer. She gets it in the middle of the field. Runner starting to come to the fore. Elise Gamball right there. And good ball in hand. They've had some wide forward runners here. Have done a good job with two. Lupinacci gets the ball up in the hands of Jess Starkey. Starkey barrels through one runner, looking to move that ball away to one of her teammates and keep it alive, and they do. Referee says it's fine. Let's keep playing.
Nope.
Now we're going to go to penalty against Kent State.
Playing the ball on the ground. Ruck was formed. Right here.
Halfway through the first half, no score so far, but all in play a lot here, Pat. A lot of rugby to watch. Much really seems any teams could keep this up for 80 minutes. They are working hard at the moment. Ball comes across there from McCullough. Gets spilled back. Olivia Snyder keeps it up in the air, waits for a team to get there. Nice safe ball for Pitt right now. Really ripped away by the Golden Flashes, and a penalty. Good work to force that one. Golden Flashes ball just outside the 22 with a penalty. So they decided to do Reinhardt.
Wait for the top.
Ball from Reinhardt. Get it up to Jess Starkey. Played Lady Warriors Rugby when she went to Watkin Memorial High School. Runners coming in two different directions. Little misdirection, gets a ball. Mavra Mahalis, one of the players to watch from Pat Clifton. Scrum half. Reinhardt just throwing one of her players in there to seal that ball over as they continue to work this one forward. Good power coming from Casey Brinker. Casey Brinker from Cleveland, Ohio. Ball out. Into the midfield, towards the try line, and there's the first try. Bree Schneider, haven't seen a ton of her so far, but she touches down the first 5-pointer of the night, does the freshman from Mentor, Ohio, and Kent State on the board with 5.
I feel like we just got to the end of a marathon and we're only a quarter of the way through this thing. Kent State finally breaking the stalemate. It's a great line, too big a gap between the Pitt defenders, and she comes at it with enough pace that she's able to carry it over the line and dot it down. Excellent skills, great play there from the Kent State Golden Flashes, showing why they're ranked number 9 in the country.
Very quiet here all of a sudden. Respecting the kicker, I suppose.
Very partisan Pitt crowd tonight, as you would expect at Founders Field here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, home of the Pittsburgh Harlequins.
10 seconds.
Perlman lines this one up. Perlman, little chip. Puts that one over, and it's 7-0 Kent State. Who's taking a look at the try.
Just barely gets it over. Second effort on the ground. Way to dot it down. I tell you, in the first game tonight on Friday Night Rugby, we had a prop kicking for IUP, and now we've got Perlman, the lock, kicking for Kent State. Love seeing tight 5 members getting out there and showing all the skills.
Pitt set to kick this one off. Just about 25 minutes gone in this first half. National Collegiate Friday Night Rugby, always exciting. The bash comes from Starkey. She's been not able to tackle from one player. Always takes a couple to get her down. Keeping it tight through Brinker again.
Good work. Very good.
Off they come, the try scorer. Schneider gets it out to Lupinacci. Middle of the field they are, having to come in and clean that one up. Reinhardt going to go back to the right-hand side. Some waiting forwards out wide here. So they decide to go there. Going to keep it in the middle of the field. Ball just gets tossed up in the air, but it went forward. It's going to be a scrum for Pitt, 30 meters out from the Kent State line.
Pitt has had a couple of really deep attacking scrums go the wrong way for them already tonight. You got a piece of they're going to have any chance of punching their way back into this thing. It's really tough to win rugby games when you can't your scrum or your line out, because that means you cannot capitalize on the mistakes of your opponents.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Ball in from McCullough again. Squirts out the side. Referee says it's okay. Looks like he went behind the first foot there. That little bounce pass she puts in is going to get in trouble eventually as Frenchco comes in with a great turnover. Ball popped up to Haley Hummel. Hummel gets the ball out in the midfield. Schneider gets Lubinacci. She has got pace to put on that ball. The ball squirts around a couple times. Referee sees the knock on from Kent State. It's going to be another pit scrum just inside of the Kent State half with plenty of real estate on this left-hand side.
Gonna pack down again. Let's just watch how Grace McCullough puts this ball in. So there's a couple of rules, right? You're supposed to put it in straight, but you can actually put the ball in. Your shoulder just has to be in the midfield, right? So your shoulder has to be where the two teams are going to come together and bind in the middle. So you can actually put the ball about a foot from that spot if your outside shoulder is there. And she is putting it right down the middle, not taking advantage of every inch of the rule in order to get her team the ball back in these scrums.
We see the little wrap around there from Lubinacci after the ball taken away. She's not going to go all the way to Lewis. She can go with a spin move, gets up, rucks over her own ball. But she's going to pick and go with that one. They're going to come back across the other way with Reinhardt. Schneider. Gamble. Hummel.
Rock. Good. Use it.
Reinhardt going to work this weak side of the field. Schweitzer's going to get it to Schneider. The ball's going to bounce off the hands of Starkey, so we'll come back for a scrum of the 40-meter line. Another pit ball.
I'm not sure they've won their own scrum tonight. Maybe one or two. It's a real problem area for the Panthers.
So you're adjusting your bind every time. Long bind and hold it.
As I mentioned, the center of your body, if you're the scrum half, doesn't have to be where the two teams meet. It doesn't have to be right in the center of the scrum. Your outside shoulder does. So she's given up a few inches. That's one problem. The other one, as you mentioned, is the bounce pass. It's pretty traditional to roll this thing. And even though they say you have to put it in straight, 9 times out of 10, the scrum half is putting it in a nice little 45-degree angle to their own team. And so she's standing a little bit closer to her side this time. Let's see how she puts it in.
That one does come back. Coach Pat having an effect from the commentator's booth. The pressure on from Kent State. Ball pushed forward. So advantage here for the Golden Flashes. Hummel takes the ground.
Get out.
Scatoloni told to roll away. Schweitzer with a wrap around here and get the ball into the hands of a screaming Micaiah Smith.
No tackling, no obstruction.
Right down the middle, the fullback comes. Can't quite make too much ground. We're going to come back here to Reinhardt. Back to Smith. Micaiah Smith gets hauled in a touch. Before she can do with that anything with that one, the junior from Massillon, Ohio.
How many? 5? 5, dude.
It's a nice run here from Kent State, but the skill's just not quite where they needed to be. Good step inside from the 13. Morgan Graybill a little slow to roll away, slowing that ball down.
Ball not straight. Scrummer line out offered here.
Not straight.
Just a little off.
Can confirm.
The battle of Snyder versus Maverick Mahalis on this side of the scrum. Formidable props.
Wouldn't be surprised to see McCullough try and snipe a little space here on the right side of the scrum.
Hummel wanted to go off the back of that one, but she knocked it on. It's going to be a pit scrum. off that knock on. There's about 10 minutes left in the first half here. An absorbing contest where Kent State leads 7-0 over the Pitt Panthers. So we taking a look at the little knock forward off the back.
Looks like they had a little 8-9 play set up here. When we call 8-man pick on my club, we used to yell out the names of old Nebraska quarterbacks like Crouch or Frost, because we look at it as more of like a college option, with your 8 being the quarterback and your 9 being the running back. You got to handle the pickup.
Big push coming from Kent State. Pitt knocks that one on. Unlucky for them. It's going to be a scrum here for Kent State at the 40-meter line of Pitt.
I would be yelling Tommy Frazier from the sideline. Let's get take 2 here of the Hummel pick.
I'd have to know Nebraska quarterbacks. That would be my challenge in that scheme.
Yeah, it was tough because my number 8 was from Ireland, but my scrum half was from Omaha, so that helped.
You just tap them, let them know, as it's going to be a Kent State put in here. Hummel a chance to have another run. Hummel's been great so far. The sophomore at the back, ball at her feet. This time they're going to have a Reinhardt. Get it out to Schweitzer. Ball bobbles. Get to Schneider. Lupinacci with this little wraparound. And Schneider on another wraparound. She's got some pace, trying to keep the ball alive here. Lupinacci has to come in and clean that one up. Backline working as a team of 3 right there, doing very well. The ball comes through. Kent State on the move through Hummel. Reinhardt is going to go in. Ball knocked forward there by Kent State this time, be a Pitt scrum.
This could be a great attacking platform for Kent State still. We saw Pitt do a little bit better in that last scrum, and even though they were getting pushed back, they were able to retain possession, which is the main point here. Still one of the first times been able to do it all night. Looks like McCullough's just checking with the referee, making sure that everything she's doing legal, maybe whatever she's thinking about doing next is going to be legal.
McCullough gets that one in. Good drive from Kent State, but this one's going to come back for McCullough. McCullough moves in the middle of the field. They go for a little bit of a cross kick here. Gets across 40-meter line, still bobbling. Did that player knock it on? Pushed it back at least into the hands of Micaiah Smith. The referee allowed blast of the whistle. Seems to be a penalty here. It is against Kent State.
We might see Pitt just run this thing. It's been a hard day of work so far for the Pitt Panthers, but they're only down 7 points. They just need one breakthrough, one try.
Indeed, they will run this one. Going to take it to ground just to set play. See what else they have coming off this. McCullough moves it out. The hands of Olivia Snyder, Conestoga High School. Silver medal winner, the 2022 Maccabea Games. Ball into the hands of Kent State. Kent State winger Sadie Simpson takes that one just inside her half. Little space opens up there. Reinhardt, and no problem taking that one. Still spinning. Can she stay in? And she cannot. A valiant effort along the tightrope there, but eventually in a touch goes Ryan Reinhardt.
Reinhardt, you can tell she's got a little bit of a rabbit in her. She can get out and run. She just hasn't quite had the space to work with yet. Dangerous player with the ball in hand for sure.
Ball up for Pitt. Not straight again. 4.5 minutes on the game clock in the first half here. National Collegiate Rugby's Friday Night Rugby. Kent State, the Golden Flashes, leading the Panthers of Pitt by just a try. So we set this one down for the Golden Flashes. Would love another 5-pointer before they head into the sheds for halftime. Ball into Schweitzer's hands. Again, these wraparound plays, they send their centers out there, but it opens up some space this time for Angelina Ferry to go through. She makes about 10 or 15 meters. They still have those runners out to the width here if they can get it. Lupinacci is going to go on a winding little run there and just get it up to Bree Schneider. Schneider has been in the try zone once. Schneider is in the try zone for a second time, headed down to the post, and touches down. Did she get it? Referee taking a look, knocked on in the try zone. Going to be a scrum here for Pitt. What a heartbreak for Schneider.
You hate to see it. Do all the work. Your skills get you across the line, but you just don't dot it down cleanly under a little bit of pressure. And just at the end, yep, she lets it go. That's a great call by the referee, right on top of it. Just put that thing down. Her elbow hits the ground first. Awkwardly knocks the ball out of her hands, and it's going to be a scrum here to Pitt. Actually, it's going to be a 5-meter dropout to Pitt. The goal line dropout now.
Goal line dropout here for Pitt. Get that one just inside the 22. So still in Golden Flash's hands. Time winding down, just over 2.5 minutes on the game clock. Could have a little referee's time. Could go either way, really. Get the ball there to Schweitzer. Schweitzer gets a ball away. Gets it into the hands of Elise Gamball. Gamball takes it in, looking for an offload. Did not materialize. Pitt, good counter ruck. Pitt, well done inside their own 22. Turn that one over late in the half. Stem the tide of this Golden Flashes attack. Pitt. Runners off to the left-hand side here. A long distance to go. Let's see what they can make happen as Graybill takes that one in. McCullough moves that ball back to Weedman. Weedman gets the ball to the ground. Good work, McCullough. McCullough gets that ball up. Gagliardi, environmental science major from Lake Mary, Florida, takes that one into contact. Schweitzer tries to move that one wide. It looks like it was pushed forward, and it was. Going to be a scrum here for Kent State. Referee looking at his watch. Time getting close here in the first half. We'll have enough time for another Kent State scrum.
Big opportunity here for the Flashes. If they can punch one more in before the half, if they can get that try back that they just knocked on, they're going to feel a lot better going into the shed. 9th-ranked team being held to just a tries difference right now by unranked Pitt.
Coming in from Reinhardt. Hummel, ball at her feet. Off to the left-hand side they go. Big tackle coming in from the Panthers, wrapping around the side. Reinhardt always ready to make that run. Schweitzer comes up, feeds waiting forward. Gamball passes that one off to Casey Brinker. Brinker shoves off one. Ball up to Schweitzer. Middle of the field they go. These are wraparound moves working well. It puts Schneider and Lipinacci on the way around, but they get the ball back to Smith. Smith makes some ground. That pass isn't going to quite go where they want it. Did it get knocked forward? It did. Referee looking at his watch here, saying there's still time. 20 seconds on our game clock. So we see the NCR power rankings.
Pitt coming in as the underdog a little bit. But this is a team they know well, a team that they played really close last year. They're playing them close here tonight. Just need 1 or 2 breaks.
Ball in.
Scrum's improving.
Yeah, Pitt too this time. Ball is in McCullough's hands, but it's a penalty against Kent State. Illegal scrummaging. They would like to go quick. McCullough ready to run. McCullough takes it, moves it out to that left-hand side. Weedman comes back in, offloads it. Eventually picked up. Graybill trying to make a little ground. Pass off to the right-hand side. Looking to the middle of the field is Emily Bissell. Haven't seen a ton of Bissell, the nursing major, as of yet this game. Such an active game. Referee said that ball's clean and you can play. So Kent State on the offense once again. Transition ball here for the Golden Flashes. Waiting set of forwards, Jesse Starkey. Little kick. Not going the direction they want, but headed towards touch. I think they just want to get it done with this. Referee whistles us for halftime. 7-0. Kent State over Pitt at halftime. The NCR National Collegiate Rugby Friday Night Rugby. We're going to step aside for halftime. At halftime, stay with us and watch highlights of the IUP Miami game from earlier today. Then we'll be back with second half action. IUP trying to roll over that one. His space opens up in the middle. They're right over the try line. Are they there? Referee says yes, and Miami, Ohio takes the first 5 points of the game. Looks like number 12, Ryan Kellogg, cuts that one down. Excellent work, Miami, Ohio, drawing first blood is ahead. They're just put there. There they go. Good pressure, little back inside pass there. The line, about 2 meters out, pick and go, across they go, dry awarded, and it is getting closer. Answering well after a few minutes here are the Crimson Hawks, IUP from Fishio. These players from IUP are not afraid to throw the ball around. Beach looks for room, he hands off one. Beach goes again, Beach is across the 20. Pass in, is it the finishing pass? Yes it is. IUP answering under 15 minutes with 2 tries. Good right there, nice work by Beach to feed that ball out. Taken in there by Dylan McNulty, the junior from Indiana, Pennsylvania. Nice big break there. Try coming here. It's going to be the big man, Cameron Taylor. Cameron Taylor sees a little space in that defense. Scoops that one up. He's in for a try. Cameron Taylor, 5 points.
I tell you what, if you're going to miss his touch as bad as Cameron Taylor did, you can make up for it by sprinting down the field, making the tackle on the kick, then hitting a ruck, having a high work rate, and then scoring a try a couple of phases later. What a make-up play by Cam Taylor.
Big man, Cameron Taylor, sideways to hold some defenders in, gets the ball away. Again, this time he has Cameron Taylor. Taylor steps inside one, accelerates across the 50-meter line. He's across the 40. He's got one player on him in Chris Matthews, but he's not going to be able to catch it. Cameron Taylor, second try. IUP, another 5 points. Excellent work. Good individual effort there from Taylor.
Absolutely. Pulling the old Cam Taylor, pulling the Cam Newton. Trying to rip apart to reveal the Superman logo after a score. I just cannot be more impressed with this guy from Natrona Heights, Pennsylvania.
Second try, a high charge. Fishio's going to take it quickly. These are good 7s players on IUP, so they are not afraid to go the distance. You see it right there. Fishio's kick bounces up for him beautifully, and Fishio is going to be under the post in just a few seconds of the second half. Look at some runners out to this right-hand side. Gets to Andrew Joseph. Joseph can't reach the line. Craddock again, gets to the Matthews. There's room out there now. It's Bart Clancy and 5 points for Miami of Ohio. Hit referee with a loud blast of the whistle here. Oh, we saw another potentially illegal play there. And Tom Ryan puts that ball back. A little loss there for Sizemore. Sizemore gets hit right at midfield. Indecision back there as Sizemore is in behind and winds up with it. A big hit from Ohio. Gets turned over. It's in Fishio's hands. Fishio across the 22. Fishio's been here before. He's got Cameron Taylor just sailing onto him, but he's not going to need him. But what speed from Taylor. I think he wanted to give him the easy try, so they both have 2 now. See the teammates hugging there, but the try goes to Fischio, and the race is on for a hat trick, Pat. And we're sure. Ball out, advantage is over according to referee, but a nice little break there, and another try is going to come. This time it's going to be Dylan McNulty, the junior from Indiana, Pennsylvania. Shuts this down. He's been waiting all game. He's an MMA Jiu-Jitsu champion as well. And puts a little offload in there to McNulty. McNulty powerful. Leads with that arm, the old shiver. Can't connect with those anymore. Ball comes up into the hands of Aiden Kovalik. Picks this one up, and it winds up in the hands of Dominic Holmes. Dominic Holmes out of the yellow card, spin bin into the try zone. 5 points off of a little cross kick. Great work, IUP. Another 5 points on the board. A little tired of this here. They go quick. Craddock, those players were not back then there. They decided to go at the end of this one. They push this one out to the wing. They get the ball in. They get the try down. Assistant referee said it's good. Try awarded. It is Nick Curis for all his trouble. Number 18, Nick Curis, touches down for Miami, Ohio.
Your subs are losing discipline. Clean it up.
So he gets a cramp as a reward. Got a couple teammates there to help him work it out.
The feeling when you crouch, when you bind, when you set. The feeling when you go into that first defender. The feeling when you make that first tackle. The feeling when you take that first hit. We are that feeling. We are contact. We are Rhino.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
Rugby is all about feeling. The feeling when you crouch, when you bind, when you set. The feeling when you go into that first defender. The feeling when you make that first tackle. The feeling when you take that first hit. We are that feeling. We are contact. We are Rhino.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
Welcome back to Friday Night Rugby, National Collegiate Rugby. It is Kent State leading 7-0 over Pitt. Pitt ball in hand in the white jerseys. John Broker here with Pat Clifton. Referee Seaton has gotten us underway. And they are on the move as Kent State immediately see what halftime messages look like. A very high-paced first half. Ball in play quite a lot. Players just trying to keep it alive as the ball comes up to Casey Brinker. Brinker. Little move there, working her way inside the 22. Driven back now by the Pitt defense. Pitt defense getting themselves sorted out. We come across McCullough. Sorry, Reinhardt. Gotta get my names backwards there as they start the second half. Getting our intros going here, but right now, Kent State, the Golden Flashes,
There we go.
working their way towards the try line, keeping it tight for the moment. Some space there if they want to pick and go on the left-hand side, but they're not going to. They come back across. Schweitzer's going to move in the middle field. Here comes this double wraparound move they go for, trying to send Sadie Simpson right through the middle. Sadie Simpson from Fox Chapel Area High School. He's been choir for 7 years. A little bit different now, playing some rugby. Ball spills forward. Pitt with the advantage. They come back for the scrum. Pat, a lot of time to go here for this Pitt team in the second half.
Absolutely. There's still plenty of time to crawl back in this thing. What's impressive from them is their defense. I mean, only one time so far, twice technically before they knocked it on in the try zone, has Kent State been able to penetrate them. And they've been very stiff all night, including turning the ball over multiple times inside their own end, like just now. So their resilience and defense is fantastic, but they've got to find a way to get in the attacking end and play a little bit of on the front foot rugby.
Just a player getting attended to here in this second half early on. It's about 1:45 to go. It's time to be off for a second while the medical staff here at Founders Field takes a look at these players.
Safety first, of course. A lot of concern and focus on the head area. I think we may be just seeing a quick little HIA. Make sure everything's okay.
Player seems to be okay for Pitt. Pat, truth and virtue, that is the motto of this University of Pittsburgh school. Great alumni all across a lot of different areas of the world. None more than Mike Ditka and Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers of Pitt. Brad?
Won't you be my neighbor?
Just thought you'd want a little knowledge there. Talk about
Ditka.
Kent State for a little while.
They should rename Pitt Pitka.
Ah, I think you're onto something there. McCullough gets that ball out. Schweitzer, they're going to go for the kick now, just straight down the middle of the field, just keeping this one alive. This has worked for them in the past, and it may work for them again here as the ball gets chipped forward again, that time by Ali Colgan. Referee coming back for a penalty against Kent State.
Got a good result there off Ebony Smith's boot. That's not the first time tonight they've done it. She has put ball to boot 3 or 4 times, and this is the second time that they're going to gain.
Can you take a scrum? Oh, no. You penalty.
McCullough has the ball. McCullough has some runners shaping up on either side there. See where they decide to go. Little tip pass there in the middle of the field. Eventually tackled. Kent State testing at this ruck, but ball's going to come out from McCullough. Schweitzer can't quite handle that pass. Ball gets pushed forward, so it's advantage here to Kent State. But always on the spot is Ryan Reinhardt. Very live wire scrum half for this Kent State team. Player not rolling away, now a penalty for Kent State.
Rolling the ball. Make an attempt.
Ball up to Starkey. Starkey with a head of steam. It gets taken down by a few Pitt players. And recycle this one. Reinhardt looking for another runner. Gets a ball to Hummel. Hummel hands off one. 22 is right in your vision there. Reinhardt. Schweitzer. Ball up to Lupinacci. Again, this little wraparound here from Lupinacci hasn't paid off with a try as of yet. But it's starting to draw some defenders down out there. Open up room for players like Frenchco here, able to take that one in. Up to the hands of Lorenzen, a freshman aerospace engineering major from Richfield, Ohio. Wrestled in high school, violin player for 12 years, freshman rugby player at Kent State. Ball out wider now. Lupinacci taking that one in on a good line, able to keep her feet. Strong moves there. Ball, Mavromahalis over it. They're going to come out to the right-hand side. Ball up into Perlman's hands. Good continuity from the Golden Flashes at the moment. Ball up to Brinker. Brinker. Up they come. Looking to the width this time. See where they decide to go. Again, the wrap. Opens it up for Hummel. French go. Gets the ball out to Lupinacci. Lupinacci steps one way, looking to go to the left, but the field closes down on her. Defender in. Cross they come. Will a space open up eventually? Kaya Smith takes it in. Little break coming. Looking forward is Reinhardt. Not going to materialize. They gain a couple of meters there. Pick and go off the back. Variety of play coming here from this Kent State team. Using the width, using the wraparound, using some pick and goes. Little power game. So really mixing it up well. Keeping it on their toes. The Pitt defense. Lupinacci runs sort of an inside line this time. Reinhardt looking for a runner. Finds it. Reinhardt to Brinker. Brinker winds up. Can't make it with this one. Just a bit more of a running start. Would have worked well there. Reinhardt has ball in hand again. Is going to come to Schweitzer. Schweitzer's going to come to Schneider. Schneider working on the outside, drawing in a couple defenders. Quick ball transfers to Hummel. Hummel shoves off one. Looks to the other side. She's right at the try line. Cannot quite get that one in. We have an advantage here, according to referee Seaton. Ball to the middle of the field. Can they get it to the width here? Micaiah Smith just launches that ball out there. Their runners queuing up outside if they can get it there. Eventually they do. Starkey puts it out wide, but draws the defense across there. Perlman, excuse me. Let's call it Pearland, like the city in Texas, but not going to do that. Ball comes back to Reinhardt. And over the try line they go. Try awarded after a good cross field and back. Sustained bit of play. Kent State puts the first 5 points of the second half on the board to extend their lead to 12.
It's like one of those Rocky movies where it gets late in the fight and someone just tees off on someone. You wait them to fall over. I mean, just slug after slug after slug. Kent State running hard at that line. Some really nice hard lines. And eventually, this Pitt State D softens up just enough to find a gap, dot it over, score to the Golden Flashes. This two-score leads, that's all it is 2 scores, but it feels unsurmountable at this point, seeing as little offense as we have from Pitt and just a punishing, methodical drive there from the Golden Flashes of Kent State.
It was a senior Delaney Mavromahalis that scored that try. Public health major from Baltimore. Speaks 5 languages. Plays some pretty good rugby as well. Kick afterwards is good, and they move it to 14. 14-0. Kent State in the lead here.
That was Laurel Perlman, the senior lock, slotting that from the touchline. Very nice kick. You don't see those made very often. This is Mavro Mahilis. She is tough to stop from short range. 2 Pitt defenders got a shoulder on her, and that was not enough. One of the players to watch. Pitt knew about her coming in. They knew she was going to be tough to beat.
Pitt gets us underway. Ball well taken by Kent State. Kent State, a little head of steam there across their own 40-meter line. Still on their feet, still going. Great run there by Elise Gamball. All over everything today. Exercise science pre-chiropractic major at Kent State. Ball across the wraparound again. Smith has it. Smith looking for Lupinacci, but it's not coming into hand there. Ball goes back to Hummel. Reinhardt takes it over the halfway. Good counter ruck coming from Pitt. We're going to come back for not rolling away. Penalty against Pitt there is to be Kent State ball just inside their own half.
I'd say the most impressive thing from Kent State is their continuity. When you get into phase 20, 25, 26, 27, that is an awful lot of bits of contact, tackles to take, fends to attempt, rucks to have, and still hold on to the ball. That is the most impressive thing about this methodical Kent offense in the second half.
Kick, it doesn't go to touch, so ball still alive.
Knock. Tackle.
Comes back to Kent State here. Starkey finds a little gap between a couple of players there. Reinhardt looking for runners, gets Brinker. Brinker still on her feet, across the 22. Back across the 22 from the Pitt defense. Schweitzer moves it across field this time. There's a little more room to run if they can get it out there. The ball seems to be knocked forward in the middle of the field. Referee indeed did whistle for it. We just didn't hear it, so it's going to be a scrum for Pitt. 30 meters out from their own line.
Lupinacci frustrated the pass to her teammate, went to deck. She has had some bruising runs. It seems like every time she takes it to the line, it takes 3 or 4 Panthers to bring her down. That time she dished it off. And now we've got a Pitt scrum. Grace McCullough. She played for Doylestown Rugby in high school, but she actually went to Peensbury High School. Peensbury, Pennsylvania. How often do you think that gets misenunciated?
I would say fair amount. Ball in, little battle at the scrum here. Ref's got the arm up. We got a penalty coming against Kent State. Illegal scrummaging from the Golden Flashes. So Pitt, ball in hand. They're going to run it. McCullough, always happy to run. Gets the ball to Buffano. Nicole Buffano takes it into contact. McCullough back across. For a little bit of space here. Get the ball to Gagliardi. McCullough forced to dig for this one. Ball eventually comes. Schweitzer's going to move it across. Ball hits the deck going forward. Referee whistles up. See what the call was back here. It's probably offsides against Kent State.
Okay, so fix it now, or I'm going to fix it. Yeah? Okay. Here we go, offside.
Referee Seaton's having a little word there.
Pitt.
Next play.
Non-stop defense for the Panthers this second half. They're going to try to get some continuity, build some phases of their own by running this one out.
Good, good.
Ball taken in by one of the reserves there. That is Ella Pickup, the freshman engineering major from Woodbridge, Virginia, from their own 40-meter line. They're going to kick that one ahead as Pitt. Well picked up by Kent State, right at halfway. Reinhardt goes off to the right-hand side. Ball up to Brinker. Brinker, steady in these small yardage gains. Good counter-ruck work there by Pitt. Ball eventually comes up into Kent State's hands. Still alive. Stark get a hold of it, but it looks like a ball went into touch. Indeed it did. It'll be a Pitt line out here.
Haven't seen too many of these tonight. Pitt's hooker trying to take a cue from Grace McCullough and feed that ball in right next to her team. The ref had to move her over into the middle of the tunnel here. On lineouts, you do have to throw it down the middle. There's not much gray area.
Adonis Skomsky in the game to put this one in for Pitt Panthers. Don't quite get that one. Doesn't quite go where they want it to go. Kent State has a knock-on advantage. Happy to play, of course. Reinhardt. Sorry, pardon me. That was Bella Bryson, the back of that ruck. Another replacement player there. Bryson, the sophomore from Brunswick, Ohio. Brunswick Valkyries player. Gamball. Schweitzer looking to the middle of the field again. Frenchko takes it in the contact. They can't work that ball in the wraparound. That one slipped a little bit forward. Looked like players were offsides for Pitt. We're going to come back for a penalty.
I think Pitt's realized it yet, a little late to retreat. They thought they had a break there, and we're going to get a scrum in the midfield. But more defense is the mission here for the Pitt Panthers. Just cannot put together very many phases or much offense whatsoever.
Kent State. Reinhardt gets them started again. Good handoff coming there from Gamball. Looking at a close runner there in Hummel. Ball hits the ground, but referee says everything's good. It went back in the right direction, so we're okay to play. Another pick here. Running across the face of the defense. Get down to Schweitzer. Nice run there. A little show in a couple of different directions. Teresa Lupinacci. Ball across. Have a little bit of a wider forward pod here, so Hummel some room to run. Gets it to Gamball. Gamball's looking at the line. Gamball headed towards the line. Stumbles a little bit in the tackle, but gets over. And at least Gamball, the senior from Akron, touches down for 5 points, and Kent State continue to push their lead.
This Pitt defense is finally starting to crack and crumble, and Elise Gamball had a very nice rambling run through that Panther defense this time. Spinning and pinging off of one tackler to another and finally crossing over. Took us forever to get a try in this game, and now it looks like Kent State might start scoring them left and right. Hummel gets the initial half break. Very nice step and evasion. Holds on to that ball through a second tackle attempt and gets it down safely. One try away from the bonus point here for the Kent State Golden Flashes. This is an Allegheny Rugby Conference matchup.
Perlman. Been good so far, the digital media production major. And she is good again. Kent State continues to take the lead here. Pitt needs to put some phases together, get the ball in the try zone.
It looks like Ohio is taking the lead here tonight. We saw IUP in the men's match, the curtain raiser, representing Pennsylvania against Miami of Ohio, taking the lopsided win. Looks like it might be a rubber match. It might be a tie, 1-for-1 tonight, as Kent State doing it for Ohio tonight. This is Gamble just taking the offload. Nice and hard, right over Ebony Smith. Hold on to the ball as she dotted it down. No more knock-ons there for the Golden Flashes. They knocked on one try tonight, not going to knock on a second one.
Little rolling kick there headed towards Kent State. Kent State able to handle this one. They take it in. Bella Bryson again. A penalty against Kent State. Players playing it illegally inside of the contact area. So Pitt is going to have an opportunity here, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see McCullough go quick, as they certainly like to do. A ball up into the hands of Ella Pickup. Ball gets kicked out the back. Have to play it, however. Up to Gagliardi. Gagliardi gets it back. 3-try deficit here for Pitt as Schweitzer. Sorry, Scavoloni puts it out in the middle of the field. Ebony Smith takes it into contact. Little pick and go there from McCullough. McCullough would have been a much deserved try with all the work she's done. Gets the ball to the ground, gets it back up. Players can come in and work over that ball. A little pick and go to come here off the back. Nice work by Graybill. Graybill gets the ball up, pick up, picks it up, keeps going forward. One's a little too easy there. Ball out into Scavoloni's hands, looking a little bit wide. Get the ball to Stanton. Looking to the width, tackled in, going to the ground. Good work trying to jackal there from Kent State. Waiting to get some players in. Ball again into the middle of the field. Get the ball up to Graybill. Graybill Penalty advantage here for Pitt. Another penalty, a referee whistles it. Referee's going to put a pretty sharp blast to the whistle, wants to have a conversation. Let's listen in.
You were on the wrong side of the ball. Took a break. Took a break. You were laying on the ball. You're laying behind. Time's off.
That is going to send Bella Bryson off the field. Number 16 for laying on the wrong side of the ball.
Time's off. Time's off.
Sorry, that might have been Lupinacci just laying on the wrong side of the ball there.
That'd be the final straw that breaks the back of this Kent State defense. Pitt has had multiple great opportunities here in this deep attack again, have not yet converted it to a score. They're down just 3 scores now, but they have a one-man advantage. The Panthers can punch this thing in. We've got ourselves a game here again at Friday Night Rugby.
Well, it takes that one, feeds a runner off to the left-hand side there in Ella Pickup. Pickup takes a ball to the ground. See the try zone, the post right back there. Can they punch this first one in? Looking at the line, did they spill it over? Referee says no. Knocked down in the try zone. That's the second one tonight. The other one was for against Kent State. It's going to be a goal line dropout here for Kent State.
A little white line fever for Pitt, returning the favor. You get close to that try line there. I got to find Morgan Graybill, the number 8. She has been one of the best runners, the most dynamic, athletic people with ball in hand tonight for the Panthers. We got to find her and get her the rock. Here it was McCullough that knocked that one on. Rare mistake for her.
Luck for Pitt there. Some scrum here. Good return there for Kent State.
We'll have a look at this again. It's Ryan Reinhardt who gets under this ball and just swats it out, forcing that knock on right at the try line. I think that's Liz Scabaloni who knocked that on right at the white line. Misattributed that earlier.
Right at the 22 here for Kent State. We're 61 minutes gone, 3/4 of the game gone here at Founders Field. National Collegiate Rugby's Friday Night Rugby. Kent State, ball in hand, off the back goes Hummel. She's been happy to do so all game. Tackled there by McCullough. Counter ruck coming. Here comes Pitt. They have the one-player advantage. Good work by Liz Womack there. Ball up to Shelby Henkel. Grad student for Pitt. Back to Gagliardi. Gagliardi making some good runs, gets that one ripped away, but a penalty against Kent State. Pitt still on the attack here.
Panthers still on the prowl, still up a man. Good to see him go a little quicker, giving Kent State a lot of time to get set up.
Ball up to Cassie Smith. Cassie Smith with contact and have to work that ball back. Big pick and go there from Ella Pickup. Looking for it here. There's Graybill. Graybill over the line and first try for this Pitt team. Pat Clifton talks about them. They get into the try zone. Great work there. Morgan Graybill. Good vision, good technique right over the line. 5 points on the board for the Pitt Panthers.
I said the Panthers needed to find Morgan Graybill. It turns out she just needed to find some work. This time it's her picking it from the base of the scrum, or base of the ruck, and just diving right over. Really great athleticism, great recognition that there was a play to be had. Seeing nobody in that post position for Kent State. Just enough space for her to get over that line and dot it down. And what a huge score here for the Pitt Panthers, waking up these announcers, or waking up these fans, waking up the announcers maybe a little bit. There's a big partisan crowd here on hand at Founders Field tonight. You get them back in the game, you get 1 or 2 more breaks. That's 1 score during the power play. You get another one, who knows what can happen.
Right in front of the post, pretty straightforward kick here. For Allie Colgan. Colgan does not hit that one.
And they got to have that one. It was tough to tell if that one went through or not. Didn't hear a whistle, but, you know, they're down 3 converted tries.
Stadium scoreboard has it as 7. We're having a little conversation here with Kent State. Another great set of alumni, Pat, for Kent State. For people of a certain age, it'd be the arts and entertainment trip of your youth. Chrissy Hine of the Pretenders, Mark Mothersbaugh, founder of Devo, Arsenio Hall, Drew Carey. Kent State putting out some pretty iconic figures.
Drew Carey. Very nice recall there. Made the outdoor pool table popular. Remember the outdoor pool table in the Drew Carey show? Who didn't dream of having one of those in their backyard after watching it?
Absolutely. Long ball down to Pitt after their try. Down 2 converted here, 15 minutes to go. Get something going there as Lana Rico doing a contact, slightly bobbled ball. It can go off the back from Henkel. Midlothian, Virginia. Ball bobbled by Pitt into the hands of Kent State. Referee saw a couple of knock-ons. We'll come back here to the first one. It'll be Kent State ball deep inside the Pitt zone.
I think we're going to see Hummel try to take this one off the back and look for a pass to Reinhardt potentially. Kent has had a dominant scrum tonight. Really, really strong early on, stealing a lot against the head. And then we saw McCullough make a couple of adjustments. So Pitt could start winning their own ball. But when Kent puts it in, they have been blowing the Panthers off at the mark.
State ball out to Schweitzer. Here they come through Smith. Smith moves that ball back. Nearly kicked out of the middle of the air there. But Kent State's going to be able to hang on this one. So Reinhardt gets that ball up. Nice work. Maintaining their feet, driving towards the try line. Eventually going to take it down. Quick ball there, but not going to happen. Going to slow it down just a bit. Schweitzer's going to move it across. A hole opens up just in the middle of the field. Can they get through? Have not. Schneider taken to the ground, even offsides against Pitt. Kent State going to run it back in. They're right under the post here if they can get this one in. Looking in the other direction. That going up to Brinker. Brinker. Might get it with a head of steam. Really take on a few players. Schweitzer looks a little wider now. Gets the ball out. Can they get this one to Hummel? Hummel has it. Hummel looking for somebody to pass to. Gets the ball up into the hands of Hannah Celsius. Gamball again. Up the middle of the field they go through Starkey. Starkey gets by 1 or over 1 or through 1, we should say. Quick ball this time out to that right-hand side. There should be space to get it there, but they're going to cut it back in. Can they get in the try zone? Yes, they can. It's Bella Bryson. Bella Bryson reserves, touches it down for Kent State. And they answer the Pitt try with one of their own. 26-7, kick to come.
I think that's going to do it for Kent State. Maybe put this one out of reach for Pitt. Bella Bryson coming off the bench, making a huge impact. Just taking the ball hard at the gap. That's what you got to do. Go for the gap. Even if you're going to take contact. She was getting tackled. Just so happened it happened on the other side of the try line, and that's all she needed for the score. That should take care of it. Put these Golden Flashes far enough ahead that they're not going to get upset by the unranked Pitt Panthers, but a great fight for them. That was a good carry there for sure. Got the Panthers having to go backwards. When you're going backwards, it's really tough stuff to stop. Going backwards from that point blank distance.
Another nice kick there, but it doesn't hit, so we'll say 26-7. here on Friday Night Rugby. As we look at Ella Bryson, the try scorer there, the sophomore marketing major from Brunswick, Ohio.
Shout out to NCR women's director Angela Smarto, who's a Pittsburgh native. I imagine she's roaming the grounds there at Founders Field. Absolute titan in the game, does a great job quarterbacking the women's game for NCR, and this has been a banner year for them, bringing in, I think it's something like 70 new teams into the competition. Division I, where these teams play, is one of the big benefactors of that.
Ball up there, knocked on by Kent State. Little mistake outside of their 22 from the reserve there, Hannah Celsius, junior from Mentor, Ohio.
Boom.
10 minutes to go in the game on our game clock here. 26-7, Kent State leads Pitt. Golden flashes over the Panthers.
This is Morgan Graybill territory. See if she can get the ball out, maybe get McCullough on her flank and see what they can do with it.
Good squeeze coming in there from Kent State. Ball at the back there. McCullough tries to scoop it up after a penalty. The drive looks so good because there's a bit of legal there from Kent State. So Pitt, McCullough has the ball. She's going to go quickly look for some runners. She's going to find Graybill. Graybill taken down by two defenders from the Golden Flashes. McCullough comes across. Pickup is featured in the second half. A lot of runs for her as the ball comes across. Scabaloni tries to get it out, but the ball gets knocked on by Pitt. Going to be a scrum here for Kent State.
Tough turnover there for the Pitt Panthers. Looked like they were maybe going to get across the whitewash for the second time tonight. There's definitely some lessons to be learned here tonight for the home team. Got to cherish possession a little bit better. Play in the attacking end a bit more. But also a lot of positives to take away. I mean, they were very, very difficult for this ninth-ranked team in the country to score on all night.
Beautiful moon over Founders Field here in Pennsylvania. Ball squirts out in the hands of Graybill. Player wasn't quite off the ground there. They picked it up. A referee, Seaton, is going to say, let's play. And Graybill's going to pick it up. Graybill's going to head towards the line. Graybill's going to get two. Try awarded to Pitt. Great work, Morgan Graybill.
As McCullough with that quick pick, just putting Pitt on the front foot, and then Graybill very shortly after that, finding the space. We didn't see a lot of front foot ball from Pitt tonight. Once you get that defense moving back a little bit, that's where the holes start to open up and the gaps start to get a little bigger. And that time it was McCullough breaking the line, and Graybill right after that, breaking that white line for 5 more points for the Pitt Panthers.
Come here from Colgan. Colgan puts that one up, and it is good. Allie Colgan, the West Grove, Pennsylvania native, exercise science major at Pitt. Adds the 2 points on the Graybill try that we look at again, Pat.
Yeah, Hummel, the defender, just picked the wrong side of the ruck. Graybill was sitting there waiting to see which side she was going to populate, which post will be there, which one will be absent, and I'll just run at the gap. She did it, got it down. Now we have a 2-score game here. About 6 minutes left on the clock. I don't know if that's enough time. Pitt has not proven to be quick strike yet, but crazier things have certainly happened.
And State takes this one off, puts it long just outside the 22. Mishandled there by Pitt. Mistake off the kickoff, not what you want. Hard luck there for Lana Greco.
She was ready to
Scrum
return
for
that
Kent
thing.
State.
She wanted to show us her Devin Hester impression. You got to haul that ball in before you get moving and juking.
Kent State ball, Ryan Reinhardt. Big drive coming from Kent State. Reinhardt's going to come off the back. He's going to have to deal with Liz Womack. Taking the ground eventually. Looking off to this right-hand side is Schweitzer. Looking at that little wrap around there. Schneider's out there. Good straightening run. Little pick and go off the back. Is the space going to open up? Not quite for Reinhardt, but she's going to get up. Very, very active with that ball in hand. Great job just keeping that momentum going as the ball slips off the hands of Serenity Powell. A penalty now against Kent State.
No hand.
Really strong tackle there by Morgan Graybill, just putting Reinhardt on her back. She got tackled, got up, put the ball down, legally picked it back up again, and charged right at Graybill, who made her immediately regret it.
Kick there from Pitt. Push the ball downfield a little bit. Take the line out. Work their way back into Kent State territory. 4 minutes to go on our game clock.
Yeah, not sure what the strategy was on that. If it was a long arm penalty, they decided to tap it and then kicked it out of bounds, which means it's going to be a Kent State throw-in. If they had just kicked it out on the full, they would still have it.
Little error there from the Pitt team. Kent State happy to take advantage of that. Ball comes up to Hannah Celsius. Schweitzer in the middle of the field. Runners coming on that one. Nice straightening run there. Good work. Alexa Hart taking that one in. Freshman.
Good.
Schweitzer finds Smith. Smith's got some runners outside.
There you go.
Ball in the middle of the field. Schweitzer moves it again. Angling run. You can see that whole Pitt defense just moving cross field there. Able to cover that. They need some straightening runs to do Kent State. Ball out wide again. See what they can do with this one. Starkey puts it out. Just going to roll in a touch. Should be a Pitt line out just inside their 22. 2.5 minutes on the game clock.
If Pitt could start, or Kent State could just start working in a few hard switches, they could really do a lot for their offense. They keep drifting a lot sideways and running out of space. But if you get someone running hard against the inside shoulder, you might find them squirting through that line.
Wait for me.
Ball up to the double try score. Graybill, but not straight. A choice here for Kent State. Scrum and a line out. You would imagine they'll take the scrum. They have indeed called for that. 2 minutes in the game clock. Time winding down. Late scrum here for Kent State, leading 26-14 in this Allegheny matchup. Wonderful double game here at Founders Field, Pittsburgh, PA. Set Pennsylvania, Ohio matchups tonight, Pat. Very intriguing.
It's going to end up in a tie, as it should. A little interstate rivalry. Of course, the bonus point's already in hand here for Kent State, but you might as well use this opportunity to practice your moves.
Good, strong scrum there from them. They get it in the middle of the field. Looking there, getting it out. Little wraparound run. Using that footwork. Nachi. No ruck happened there, so players are going to keep going. It's going to be Kent State ball. They're at the 5-meter line. Need to get to the ground. Now it's a ruck. Players have to move away there. Digging deep for it. Good counter ruck from Pitt. Referee says play it. Graybill tries, but looks like she just knocked it on there. Referee looks at his watch. Looks like we have time for at least one more scrum for Kent State here.
Last play. Last play. Here we go.
The referee lets us know this will be the last play of the game.
Here we go.
One more opportunity here for Kent State to flatter that score line.
Okay. Wait for me.
Get somebody else a game ball to take home, a memory to have.
Cut. Bind. Check.
Kent State, one last scrum here. A ball at Hummel's feet. See where they decide to go. They're going to put it to Lupinacci. She's just going to kick that one a touch. Referee Seaton is going to look at his watch. He's going to look at his whistle. He is going to call for the end of the game. Kent State wins this National Collegiate Rugby Friday Night Rugby matchup 26-14. Pat, final thoughts before we roll out?
Dominant performance from Kent State. Pitt, really good defense. A lot to work on, a lot to improve on. What an Allegheny Conference matchup. Congratulations to the Golden Flashes.
Thank you for joining us all evening. That is it for us as we just watched some highlights on the way out for Pitt and Kent State and IUP in Miami, Ohio. Thank you to players, fans, family for coming out to that one. Coaches, for everybody at NCR, all the staff, Angela Smarter, the women's director, taking care of this one. Brad Dufek, along as the contingent of NCR executives. Thank you for putting on this Friday Night Rugby as ever. For the Next Level Rugby crew, our camera crew, Mike the Man Baker, Ryan the Man with the Rugby Plan, Ginty in the chair. It's Pat Clifton, and for Pat Clifton, I'm John Broker. See you next week's Friday Night Rugby, Brown versus Fairfield. See you then.